Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pipefy's Open Office Hours. So my name is Mariana. I'm from the Customer Marketing and Education team, and I'm hosting this open office today. And also Felipe and Rodrigo are here with us, so we can answer your questions. For the few of you participating for the first time, so here's a little bit about our open office hours. It happens every Tuesday. So we have the English session, and on Thursday we have the Portuguese session as well. It's an open space, so you can send all kinds of questions you have regarding Pipefy and its features. So feel free to start sending your questions. I'm just gonna ask you to send them through the Q&A button here at Zoom. On the menu, you'll find the feature, the Q&A feature. You'll type your question, and we'll be sharing your screen, and we will explain how to set things up or the best way to set or to answer your question. All right. So I'll ask Felipe to share his screen, and then we'll begin answering your doubts. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So we already have one question. It is, how do you use an automation to get a checklist into a long text field so I can incorporate checklist into a PDF template? Okay. So to do this, I will first of all make a checklist here. So checklist with A and B and C options. And then I will make another one just to verify to complete the long test. Do it. And then I will fill out this long text. Okay. So first of all, I will already check these three dots, these three options, and then I will go into automations. Oh, let me change my Pipefy accounts to English. I'm sorry. Here we go. So we go to automations, create a new automation. When a field is updated, you can also use when a card is moved. Any other event is capable of doing this, okay? So when a field is updated in the open office hours English, I will select a field. This is the trigger for the automation to happen. I will choose the verify to complete the long text. So here I will check like verify to complete is present. I will update a field value. I will pick up the long text and fill with the information. Sorry, let me check. For some reason, it isn't showing here. Okay, so Scott Van Dusen, I will check this feature later again. I think they just removed this workaround. I will record another video and send you, okay? I'm sorry for I can't answer your question right now, okay? I will think in a way to do it, and then I will send a video for you, okay? So the next question is from, hi, my first question is, I'm registered with the free trial. When I created the email template, I did not see the feature that would allow it to generate email with a card. Can that be done with free trial? I know it's possible because I saw it, in your video. Um, so when I create the email template, and I see the feature that would allow you to generate email with a card. Uh, I I think you are talking about the creating a card based on an email. Is that right? Or you want to use information that are contained within a card in an email template? Okay, so you can do this with the free trial, okay? So first of all, you have to create an email template containing the text. For example, the request is completed, like this one. Here you will create the email template, all right? And then you click on save. You go here to phases. You go to the phase that you wish to send this email. For example, that one is for when the card is completed, right? So I will send when the card enters in the done phase, right? So I'll go to email templates right here. Request is completed. I will set up the same email again. Request is completed. From name, you can pick up the dynamic content here. I will pick up the team name. This is your organization name. From email, it will always be card email. You can also pick up this information right here, card, email, okay? To email, then you choose to whom you want to send this information, right? So send a card, whatever enters this phase. To email, for example, we'll pick up in the start form, the requester's email, right? When you put here, you click on save. And now every time card enters the done phase, it will send an automatic email. Okay? So the next question is from Jody. We have a required email signature with disclosures for compliance purpose. Can we create email signatures in email templates that will be saved so we don't have to type them in each new template? Sure. You have to so so if you want to make an email signature, for example, in my team, we use a database. So for example, when a card goes in box, there is all the team members that will can pick up this request, right? So for example, I can input here a database with my signatures, right? So for example, every time this card enters here, and for example, Daniela Sonigo will pick up this request, right? So she will pick up her signature, and then you go into email templates. For example, you can go here below your organization name and input your signature, right? So for example, you can pick up in the inbox signature for example, my name or maybe a text or something like that, right? And then you can create your own personal message, phone number, and any other information that you wish. Okay. Once a card is completed, can you go back to that card and make a change? Uh, sure. For example, I can pick up this card from Olivia Simpson, and you can see here, if I click here on edit, I can change the requester name. Maybe it's Olivia just, right? You can see that it changes. But if you don't want this to happen, you can also desynchronize this card. So you can see here, this field is editable on other phases. If you remove this option and click on save, if I try to go here again, I can't change it, this information. Okay? So since anyone isn't asked questions yet, I will just show some cool tricks that Pipefy can help you. For example, you can use hyperlinks. You can just input the name of the hyperlink, right? And then you put the HTTPS and the address for the site. This is really useful in any other ways. So Alberto Peralta is asking, when creating a card, can you use an identifier so you know line of business? So I don't fully understand what are you asking, but for example, you can input here on the public form, and oh, you're giving an example. So I will wait for an example from Alberto. So Alberto asked, when creating a card, can you use an identifier so you know line of business? If it's DA or RA, deferred annuity or RA. I will need to able to tell the difference through a label. Okay, so for example, you have on your public form and radio select, there is option, and then you can put like DA or RA, right? So I'll make an automation. If you want to do this with an automation, you can do it, right? So, for example, when a card is created in a pipe, you can input the condition here in the start form. When you ask the option is equal to DA, I will update a field value. For example, in the inbox, I will update the priority. You can change the labels also, right? So, for example, make a test. So when you create as a DA, it will input test. DA test. Okay. So, for example, I will create this card, right? And then you can see here, it will take a little while, but it will be created, and now the card will be automatically updated to show the test label. Okay, so take a little bit.
While the automation is running, I'm gonna share my screen and answer Jody's question. He asked, when a yes or no approval is involved, and the answer is no, can you demonstrate options of how that no response can be handled? Uh, so there's a lot of ways we can do that. We usually, Felipe, can you open the approval phase, a current approval phase? So here, as an example, when we have a should the request be approved, a yes or no type of question, once we click no, we usually have a conditional hiding the reproval reason. So Felipe, would you mind setting that up? So every time there's a no clicked, it will open up the reason why this was the approval was denied. And from that, you can pretty much set it up the way your process work. We usually recommend that our clients have a specific phase where they can move the approvals that were not the requests that were not approved, so they can their clients or their requesters can receive an automatic email with Pipefy explaining the why this was not approved. So you will click no, you fill out the reproval reason, and then once you move to this phase of denied requests, your requester, the person that opened this demand for you, can receive an automatic email with the reason why it was not approved. Does that make sense? Jody, is there any specific case you would like to see?
Just to show that to Alberto, there is the priority label that the pipe was inputted automatically, right? So you can see here when it's a DA, it's with this label, so you can see better in your closed card.
Okay. Jody asks, how does the person who opened this demand, this request, get notified specifically? So first of all, you have to collect this person's email in your start form or in any other way during your process. So you have to have the field email for the person to input it. Once you have this field, you can set up emails templates like these options that Felipe is opening for us, and you can build it the way you want it to. So you can put images on it. You can use what we call dynamic content to pull information from any phase, any field that was already filled up during the process to input in this email. And once you have this template completed, you can save it, and you can set it up for a specific phase. For here, as an example, we have the phase rejected, where you can set up that request denied email. So you can choose who is it from. So like the email that is going to be sending out this template to your customer, to your requester. And you can select their email also again by the dynamic content. So you can pull the information from your start form, this requester's email, and use that to direct the completions, the email. And there in the settings, you can have it to send whenever a card enters this phase. That would be a more logical in this specific situation. So that's how you do it. You first create the phase, then you create the email template, and then you configure that email template to be sent automatically inside of that specific phase. So Felipe is doing a demonstration. I don't think it's gonna work because there's no email. Oh, okay. So yeah, there were the emails sent to this person because it was moved to the rejected phase. Okay. Jody also asked, what is the purpose of click here to customize this view? I believe he was talking about when we have an open card in the left side of the, if you go down there, there's a click to customize this view. What will happen? You can customize what is appearing for you in the left side of the card. So you can put along the history of the card, the phases that it has been through, you can put like a specific checklist or the attachments that you have connected to this card visible there. So you can select other entities to visualize in the left side, be it connection with another processes or with your databases, or attachments or specific checklists for these specific demands, and so on. So, and you can also move things upwards or downwards in this order. Okay, great. Alberto, Jody, please let us know if we're clear enough and if we answer your questions. Jody sent another one here. Does that affect other cards or just that? Okay. This configuration will affect all the cards. So if you set it up like Felipe just did, the attachments to be seen, if you open another card, it will follow the same structure.
So Alberto Peralta asked, when assigning multiple pipes which are the same to different assignees, does it have a numerical value? I didn't fully understand your question, Alberto. Can you maybe give an example? So one pipe or one process to meet multiple people. Okay, maybe I'll try to answer like this. Maybe you have like one type of assignees here. For example, you have when a card enters this phase in inbox, you can assign like Daniel Sonigo, Lucas Evans, and Mariana. And maybe when this card reaches to an approval state, maybe it will be Felipe, right? So for example, you can input these assignees by and through automations, but you can also use here on the edit phase, for example, in the approval state, I'll edit this phase, and then I will input Felipe Botter as an assignee, an automatic assignee. So every card that enters the approval phase, it will have Felipe Botter as an assignee. So maybe you have like a fixed guy just to do the approval states. So for example, this draft, when I move here to approval, it will change to Felipe, right? And then when this card goes to the next phase, you can also um, maybe change again the assignee, right? I don't know if this answers your question. So Bart is giving an example. One pipe, for example, make shopping list. If it's assigned to Philly, Dom, and Alberto, how does that look if it is the same pipe? So it's like this. For example, if Daniela Sonigo is here as responsible or an assignee, and Mariana is also here, and Felipe, the screen will be the same for everyone here. So either one of them can maybe fill out.
Just complementing a little bit more on that, Alberto. For example, in Pipefy, we would consider it that one card is one demand. So for this shopping list is one shopping list that has to be done by the 3 people on the team. So in this first phase, they could all be responsible because there's no clear process rule here. So the first one that gets to it can make it, or you can have like Felipe showed before. You can have Alberto responsible for the first phase. So the first phase of the shopping list will be done by Alberto. When it moves to the second one, these steps are going to be completed by Rodrigo. So Rodrigo will be the responsible assignee in the second phase. And in the third one, it will be Felipe. So we can change that back to Felipe, and he will complete the third steps. If you have clear business rules that define your process, we can adjust them to Pipefy. But if you don't, it's like Felipe showed you. The 3 will be responsible, and the first one to get to the demand can start filling up everything else. And you can also, for example, use the comment section to communicate by yourselves. So you can tag people here and tell them there's an item missing. Please review it. And this way, Felipe will get a notification that with this note for him to come here and take a look at this demand. Okay, there's no problem having different shopping lists for each assignee. What you can do is when you are opening a demand, you can already direct it to a specific person. So for example, you can have here a assignee select field. You can have here an assignee field where you select, oh, this shopping list, I want it to be done by Rodrigo. And this demand will be only for Rodrigo, and he will be the one notified by this. So you can have the same fields for everything. So you can standardize the way that you're collecting this information as an input to your process, and you can change who is the responsible, what type of request is it, what type of shopping list is it, and this way you have this already set up. Okay, so here's the example because we had a rule set up, but like this, in this way, only Rodrigo will be the responsible for this demand, and you won't have to assign them to every 3 of the employees. You can direct it to the specific one that is responsible.
So the next question is from Edgar. Can Pipefy calculate the cost of a service based on the number of service requested? Example, a document costs $10 each, and a client requests 2 documents. Can Pipefy automatically populate a $20 cost? Sorry, but unfortunately, Pipefy can't do it right now. So, but as you can see, is on track for us to develop this function roadmap. So roadmap pipeline. Sorry, do you have the link, Rodrigo?
Yes, let me send it over to you.
Oh, thank you. So we can't calculate a field with Pipefy right now, but it's on development by our team. But if this feature is really important to you, You also can use third-party softwares like Zapier, and then you can build an integration with Pipefy to do these calculated fields. Okay, you can use Zapier.
Sorry, I believe what you can show where you can show them, Felipe, is a way to do it via reports.
Oh yeah, sure.
So for example, Edgar, if each document is a different demand on Pipefy, you can have a field saying, for example, this demand costs $10, the other one 50, the other one, and so on. And inside of our report, you can add these amounts if they are different demands. Okay, so if they're in the same demand, you cannot. If they are separated, then you can.
And you can see here, we have a roadmap with features that will be developed by Pipefy. So as you can see here, the formula field is under consideration. If it's really your desire to have this, I will share the link. And you can ask here, is nice to have, important, or critical for your process. Then our developers will see what is really important for you and start to prioritize this feature. Okay.
Hi, Edgar just sent a new question. Can we retrieve all the letters uploaded at the end of the day so we can print them? Okay, so there's no quick way to print any specific card inside of Pipefy. You can take a screenshot, you can print this screen, but that is really not recommended. But what you can do, Edgar, is you can set up a daily report, and then you can extract all the information that was inputted in Pipefy during that day. So here you can set up a new report. In the left sidebar, we have all the filters that you can make. So we can have all cards created at today. Então, the cards that were created today. And here at the top right side, you have this icon that once you click it, it will open all the available fields that you can bring to this to this report. So you can select pretty much everything if you want to, all the information that you want to extract from Pipefy at the end of the day. So it can be literally all the fields that you have in the pipe are just specific ones. So for example, just the requester, his email, and things like that, and the checklist, for example, and save this report. Can be a and once you have it saved, you can access it every day, or you don't even have to access it. You can just open your report page and export this information. So you have all the new created cards inside of your pipe, extracting the information that you want from them. This will come via XLSX, so in the Excel format.
Also, you can, just to finish that, you can also take the reports and extract them by clicking here on export, and you can send to your email or you can download it. See? There you go. So Debbie Anderson asks, can you set up an automation assignee in a future phase of the pipe as the card creator? Yes, sure. For example, maybe you wish to, if the request is DA, I want to input an assignee here on extra phase 1. Okay, so I'll input like an assignee here. You can do the automation like this. When a card is created on the OpenOffice English, when the option is equal to DA, I want to update a field value of extra phase 1 assignee. I will input Felipe Border to deal with it. Okay, so extra phase 1 Felipe. Right. So the next time I create a card, for example, Felipe, with option DA, I can create this card, and then I will just wait a little bit to the automation work. But when this card is moved to the extra phase 1, sorry, I will create another request because this one is already filled with Felipe. So Rodrigo, option DA. So now that the card is here on the extra phase 1, it will take a while, but the assignee will be
So Debbie, to continue, yes, you can have a specific responsible for phases. So for example, we have here extra phase 2. And when we come and edit this phase, we can open down here and have this phase assigned to one or more individuals. So for example, if I put myself as the person assigned to take care of this phase, extra phase 2, and save this setting, every time a card is moved to extra phase 2, I'll be put as responsible here, as you can see. Okay.
So Debbie asks, I want you to be the who created the card to be assigned, not a specific person in a phase. Okay, so to do that, you have to use an automation. Okay, so for example, I want it to be an extra phase 2. I want to be the creator, the responsible for that, right? So you go here, create automation. when a card is moved to extra phase, to extra phase 2, we will update a field value. I don't know if in extra phase 2 we have, oh, we don't have assignee. So I will input in extra phase 1, okay? I will change here to extra phase 1. I will input the assignee. Here you can set up dynamic value. You click here on the plus sign and you check here, creator. Then you will assign this card to the person who created.
All right, so thanks everyone for participating. We'll be here next week at the same time, the same day. So if you want to bring your questions next Tuesday, we'll be available. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please reach out to our support team on the in-app chat. All right, so I hope you have a great week, and thanks Felipe and Rodrigo for participating and helping out with the questions. See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.